There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right. Don't have to be scary. You just gotta follow the light. You're able to be happy. You can do whatever you like.
Alright, so I thought I'd just do a quick video. This is only a quick couple of second clip. But I just want to show you that we don't just work on Jeeps, guys. Promise. Look, if no one can pick what this stuff is, look, we've got a 18Z timing case. It's all 18Z gear. So we've got a timing belt and water pump to do on a 75 series 18Z. So 18Z, 1HDT, 1HFTE. I think the FTE's just got a different adjuster. But other than that, they're all basically the same. They're actually, it's not a big job on these. Well, okay, if you know what you're doing, it's not a big job. It's just a pain in the butt that they're the same as the newer Hiluxes. To do the water pump, you got to pull the timing case off. So to just do the belt is an hour job. Like, it's really quick. Basically, fan out, shred out. Actually, to do the timing belt, you don't have to do that. To do the timing belt itself, it's just move the reservoir, pop the timing case, the cover off, and change the belt. It's so quick. But it's just a bit more in depth if you're doing the water pump, because you got to pull the actual timing case off, aircon brackets, alternator brackets, all that sort of stuff through the water pump. It's still not the end of the world. But I just want to show you that we don't just do Jeeps. We do other stuff too. See, Land Cruisers. But we're going to get stuck back in this. Actually, no, we're going to go to town and get a water pump.
We've got to go pick up the water pump.
Because a wrong water pump was supplied. So we'll go to town, get a water pump, and then we'll put it back to you. And then it'll be another happy customer. Hopefully. Alright guys, so as you can see, things have got well out of control. So I finished that Land Cruiser, that timing belt I was doing. That all obviously went well, straightforward job. And I've torn the Willys down. I didn't want to start doing any video on it in case something went horribly wrong or something didn't fit and it was a big catastrophe. So rather than showing you all that. So I've ripped all the front axle out. I'll give you a look at that in a sec. So the front diff is sitting in. So it sits, the front diff is about 1.5 inches, 2 inches wider each side. So the wheels used to sit tucked in before, whereas now the tyres sit dead flush with the guards, not the flares. With the guards, so it's got a bit more of a stance on it. And with the 750 16s, I'm hoping with that bit wider diff, the tyres won't hit the drag link. The only thing I have to do to fit the diff up is a different steering arm that goes from the knuckle to the drag link. I've got to get a different one of them because it's a pointy nose diff in the pre-pointy nose. So there's little differences there, and I've got to get a different length drag link because the steering arm sits on a different angle, so the drag link doesn't quite line up. But I can give you a quick look at that. But in front of us here, I've got gearboxes and transfer cases and everything. So our gearbox is out, it's on the ground over there. So they're just a T90, same as all your early Willys and everything. So this is the gearbox going in it. I've just taken the transfer case off because it's a lot easier and a lot lighter to handle to lift the box in and out with just the box. So with these, luckily you can bolt the bell housing on, all the clutch fork, everything on, slide the box in, bolt that up, and then put the transfer on. The worst part is, because I took the transfer off on the bench, I don't know if the camera's going to show it, but I'll turn it for you and show you. When you take the transfer case off, this whole main shaft just falls out the back. So all the needle rollers and everything fell out of the main shaft bearing in the front. So we just repacked all that, sat that in. That's why I've got this rope holding the main shaft forward, so that way it can't fall out in putting the box in. So that's all in. Transfer case will go on. I'll give you a look at the car. Alright, hopefully that camera's facing pretty good. But yeah, so that is our old gearbox there. So that's just a little 2-wheel drive job. So it's exactly the same box, it's just a different main shaft because this one's got the longer output shaft with the nut and everything for the flange to be able to run just straight tail shaft. But diff is sitting in. Now, so the steering arm on this comes straight off here like that, and my drag link sits a bit too long, so I'll be getting a different drag link, and I've got to get a different one of these. So that's the arm that goes on top of the knuckle. So I just got to get a different one of those that fits on the opposite side. And then the full drive conversion will be complete. Well, it'll have a diff and transfer case. I've still got to find a rear diff that'll fit it with the same ratio as the front. So I've got to rip that front cover off and just confirm 100% what the ratio is. Then I can get on to finding a back one. But yeah, so that's where the Willys is at. Hey honey, do you want to show them what you got?
Yeah.
Okay, so Isabel answers. So here comes Isabel. She's about to show you guys what she's got. She's very excited, very, very happy. But as you know, chicken coop's finished and she has chickens. So you want to tell them what they are?
These are Silkies. They are both hens and they're sisters.
Sisters, and what's their names?
The larger one is Coco and the smaller one is Sweetie.
Coco and Sweetie. So this is Isabel and Em's chooks in their little chook house. So today's what? Today's day 2?
Yes, this is their full.
So this is their, so they only got them yesterday, and the woman said, oh, they're not laying yet, they're too young to lay and all that sort of thing. And Isabel pulled out an egg this morning. So that was awesome. So we're already getting eggs out of them. So that's wicked. So yeah, so that's Isabel's little chicken farm on the Jeep farm. You're gonna have to clean this GoPro stick. I'll just put grease everywhere.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, have fun.
So basically I've hit a wall for today because I can't put the belly housing back on because this is our old throw-it bearing. It used to squeal every now and then and it is RS. So today's Sunday, so I've got to go to town tomorrow and get a throw-out bearing, and then the belly housing can go back on, the gearbox can go up, and then I'll lift up this monstrosity. This thing weighs a friggin' ton. Lift that up, see if so there is like a mark in the floor pan where the four-wheel drive shifter would have gone. So I'm hoping all that lines up and I can just notch that out and the gear stick will go straight through. So yeah, I'm going to chill for the rest of today, but that's where it's at, and I'll give you a look when I get a bit further along. Alright guys, so we're at the stage, like I said, I've got the front diff sitting in. We've just got the right steering arm on it. I'll give you a look in a sec. We've got a nice set of new shocks, thanks to Graham for them. They're not new, they're just old full-size shocks, but it's awesome that all the old full-size Cherokees, J-Trucks, TJs, they all ran the same shock. It's just you got to make sure the bush is removable, like the sleeve out of the bush is removable, and then the shocks go straight on. But I'm just waiting on a new throw-out bearing. I'll give you a look at our old one somewhere. So this is the old throw-out bearing out of it, and she's definitely cactus, but there's a good chance it's about 80 years old, so we won't worry about that. So ordered the new one. Neil at Marathon, he's getting that down for me straight away. So then the box can go in. I've got the belly housing back in, and we're just going to bolt the box in at the back. Now I'm hoping I can lift it with the garage jacks. If not, I have to get an engine crane and lift it up through the floor because I am on my own. So I'm just in the middle of swapping the wheel cylinders over and everything to this diff. The brake shoes are better in that one than this one, so I'm going to use those shoes. But we got all brand new wheel cylinders and brake lines, so just got to chuck that in this diff, and then we can put the hubs back on. Just going to clean out the freewheeling hubs, get them all good. Front shaft's on. I'm hoping it's the right length. Being a pointy nose front diff and drive shaft, I'm not 100% sure if the pointy nose run the front diff in the same spot, so the tail shaft length is going to depend on that alone. So if the front diff's in the same spot, then the front shaft will fit. Gearbox in, front shaft on, diff will be going, and we can test it out. Now, I did have a look at the diff ratios in this front diff, and they are 3.54s, so we're going from 5.38s to 3.54s. 3.54s in this era are really unheard of. These diffs are out of the old ABC TV car. So like obviously back in the 40s. Obviously they probably had the diff gears changed because it was doing a lot of highway use. So that's all we can put it down to, is why they're 354s. We were hoping they were 41s or 48s, but being the little 60 horsepower motor, we'll see how it goes with those gears. So not going to worry about a rear shaft yet. Literally just going to put the front diff in, all the brakes, hook up the front shaft and drive it on the front diff, because we don't have a rear yet. Before I go worrying about a rear, got to make sure these ratios will work. So just going to run the rear as a lazy axle for now until we can work out where we're at. But I'll give you a look at the steering arm. Alright, so as you can see here, this is the steering arm we had to get. So originally this steering arm on this model Willys was on the bottom that the diff came out of, and we needed it on the top. So it's still our original drag link, that's all unmodified, and just a top steering arm now. So the steering's all working fine, the diff's all bolted in, and yeah, look at our new shocks, guys, look at that, beautiful. So gearbox sitting here. So I did separate it, as you saw. We just resealed, transferred the gearbox, all that sort of stuff. Shifter's out, this shifter's just sitting in it to keep all the crap out. But literally all I've got to do is just that throw-out bearing. Once I've got that, the gearbox can go in. And all that can go back together. But I'll just finish ripping this wheel cylinder out and we'll get them put in. Alright, so wheel cylinders are all in, brakes are all hooked back up. I won't bleed them until I get the car down, because the master cylinder's down under the cab. It's bloody high to try and tip fluid into it. So once I can get it down low on stands or back on its wheels even, I'll bleed the brakes up. But I'm just going to get some brake clean and some Kero and everything tomorrow. Get some brake clean and clean out those backing plates and all the drums and everything. And then I'll get some Kero to clean out the freewheeling hubs. One of them is a bit sticky, I think, just from sitting. It's not seized, it's just a bit tight. So I'll free all that up, and then that's the front end done. Full drive conversion complete in that half of it. So I'll go to town and get some stuff, and I'll give you a look at the cleanup. Alright, so I haven't got Kero yet. I actually just got bored, so I started pulling the freewheeling hubs apart. So basically, here is your early model freewheeling hub. They're very, very simple. So here's the one I haven't pulled apart. So basically this slides over your axle and then bolts to the end of your hub. And then when it's in freewheel, I don't know if you can see, but that spins inside with your axle. So your wheel spins on it like that. So that's your wheel spinning. You have two of these cylinders. Just let me sit it in. Alright, so when it's in that, there's two of these, so pretend there's another one there. When it's in that position, your hub is freewheeling, right? Now when you turn that 180 degrees, now your hub's locked. Alright, so we turn it back, unlock. So the way it works is this big cylinder has a cutout. So when it's sitting in that way, that wheel spins around inside it, And as you turn it that way, it locks it and it'll no longer spin. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone out there, but that's how they work, really simple. And then you have this front cover that sits on the outside, so all it sticks through is the two flats. So you turn that one, turn this one, and your hubs are locked. But basically, that's how they work. So those cylinders are what was stuck on it. Like one was moving, one was really tight, and the other one was completely seized, I guess you'd say. So just pulled it all apart, heaps of WD, got it all freed up, and we'll put this one back together. Alright, so you probably watched me fumble so much then. I tell you what, being blind and doing circlips is a complete nightmare. But, so we've got the nylon bush in the bottom, circlip back on, bit of grease in there, make it all nice and slippy. Now I don't know with these, I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me, but it's usually good protocol with freewheeling hubs, don't pack them with grease. You just want them nice and lubricated. Where are we? Alright, so there's our two that the cylinders go in. So same thing, we'll just put a little wipe of grease in there. Give these a little wipe of grease. We'll drop that one in there. We'll drop that one in there. So in that position now, we are currently locked. Alright, we're unlocked now. So we'll turn that one. Turn that one. And we're locked. So we turn that one back around there. That one back around and we're free. So that one is working really smooth now. So I'll just put a little bit of grease down around everything. Like I said, we're not packing it full of grease, but just enough that everything stays nice and lubricated. Alright, so this goes back on top. Just give that a bit of a clean. Now don't stress guys, this is all going to get cleaned right up, but I need to know whether that front diff ratio is going to work for us. Well, these are actually pretty clean, but the reason it is killing me. Normally I'd have all this sanded up and looking like new, but the reason I'm not is the look we go for, trying to go for this car is like a survivor, non-restored, just good old complete original. So that's why they're not getting all cleaned up and painted, but like I said, it is killing me, because normally I would. So that's held down. Oh. That one's working. That one's working. All right, I'm gonna get in, pull the other one apart, clean it all out, clean all the old grease and crap out of it. Put some nice fresh stuff in, and then ready to put the hubs on. Ooh. All right guys, so update time. As you can see, this isn't Willys. They don't have disc brakes. But Willys is back on all fours. Like I said, rear diff. I've got a couple of diffs lined up. None match the ratio of the front one we have in it now. But we have a narrow track done, a 44 with the same ratio. So basically we're just going to run it on the front diff, take it for a test drive and see how the little 4-cylinder goes with the 354 gears. If the 354s are good, then I'll just take the crown wheel and pinion out of the other diff I have and throw it in a wide track 44 that I've got lined up. If the 354s don't work, then I've got a wide track rear end for it with 427s. So I'll give it a go. And if the 427s are good, then I'll throw a set of 427s in the front and we'll be sweet. But for now, it is back on the road as front wheel drive, but I'll give you a look inside it. So, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but the stance is quite a bit better. As you can see, the tyres sit flush with the guards now. They used to sit quite a bit sunken in. So that's all sitting really good. I'm happy with that. Fueling hubs are working a treat after we freed them up, but I'll give you a look inside. Hopefully it's not too dark. Is it too dark? No, I think it's all right. So now we have our normal gear stick, and then we have our four-wheel drive lever, and down here, that one there is our front diff. So I'll run you through how it works and then I'll explain it. So right there is normal two-wheel drive. Right there is both rear diffs. I'll explain that in a second. And then we have neutral and then low range at the top. And then, yeah, this one here engages and disengages the front diff. Now, I think I might have showed it on the bench, I'm not 100% sure, but this transfer case is out of a 6x6. No, the Willys is not going 6x6, but it's what we had available and it's what Brian sort of said we could have. So huge shout out to Brian again, it was awesome. So we'll only be running one of the rear outputs obviously, and then it's just got the front output. But yeah, so all in, all working. I'll let you, I haven't even driven it yet because I've got to go to town and get diff oil and gear oil, like just get a bottle of gear oil and then we can take it for a test drive. But handbrake's all hooked up because now it has the handbrake on the transfer case, not on the rear wheels anymore. So I've rerouted the cable, got all that hooked up and working. Speedo cable's in, different speedo cable, but I've got all that while we're there. So that's all working. So I'm happy with that. All right, guys. All gear oiled up. I've just been for a little lap around the yard here, just in low range. It seems to be driving good. It's all working. So next step is we're going to take it for a run out on the road and see how that front ratio goes with the 354s. And then that'll entail whether I get another 354 rear or what happens there. But she's all basically four-wheel drive now. It's just that rear just got to be hooked up, but I can't do that until I get a diff. So Willys is now four-wheel drive. So Camp Goss, we'll be going to do scenic, hopefully a scenic, if we can get it all running and driving nicely by then. Just get that speed up a little bit so we can keep up with everyone. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's not for everyone, but I just thought I'd take people along for the ride. But like the video if you like it, subscribe to the channel, tune in next fortnight, and I don't even know what I'll do next fortnight. Working on Jeeps, I suppose. But we'll see you then.